Calarts is the thing, well, the name they came up with regarding cartoon art styles that all look the same. So stuff that look like Steven Universe and Gravity Falls, Star versus the Forces of Evil, Clarence, Gumball, is the way it's drawn, like it's in a similar style the way that it's drawn. So Calarts is something that people find annoying regarding cartoons and how they are stylized and how they are drawn a certain way, and it bothers them because they all look similar and they got the same similar head shape. This was a big topic revolving around the cartoon community. Artists can talk about it too, but this was a big problem back in the day, and a bunch of people was running about it, how they find it like really lazy and ugly that they use the same style and the same way to stylize when it comes to creating cartoons. But here's the thing, see, what I've noticed, it ain't just this era that used the same way to stylize. It's also back then they did the same thing too. Yeah, I just overlook it because it's hidden very well, but they did also draw similar back then. Like for example, all Hanna-Barbera shows look the same, yet they are all very much loved till this day. The art is stunning and beautiful, and it's well done, and it's very detailed. The art style does kind of, shift depending on what the show is going to be about. It don't always look the same, but most of the human characters that Hanna-Barbera make, they look like they can fit in one universe. Same with the animal characters, they look like they can fit in one universe. Disney cartoons in early 2000, like in early 2000 cartoons in general, what I've noticed that they share the same way of drawing too, because if you watch shows like Kim Possible and Danny Phantom and like American Dragon, you'll notice that the way the hands are drawn, it's like blockish. It's not like realistically, how the way they stylize stuff, it's like blockish. The hands are blockish. Then they got that triangle breast thing for the female, if you know what I'm talking about. They got the triangle breasts, like inferior appearance, like Kim Possible. It's like similar stylized. It was like that back then too. A lot of people ignore it because I guess like it was just very, very appealing to them, and they didn't take notice of it at all. And I didn't notice it at first either, but I sat down and watched the show today from like the early 2000s, and they share the same way of stylizing when it comes to animation. Each era with animation shares a similar style format. Yeah, I can say that like in this modern day and age, the Calarts is lazy and it all looks the same. And Calarts, I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of lazy, but it can be done right. If you look at shows like The Owl House and Haley's on It, and you can see, and also Moon Girl, you can see that although it does have similar styles, like the way it's stylized, it is very like different. They go out of bounds to make their stuff look very different. Of course the stylization is different, but there is still some type of format that they gotta follow too when it comes to coming up with different art styles regarding cartooning. and like they like to joke about Calarts and stuff, which is fine. I don't see a problem with it. And like I said, I do find Calarts a bit annoying and overwhelming. I do think that it keeps them from like expanding their work, expanding their art style in a different direction. It does limit them, but Steven Universe does have a beautiful art style. It has a nice, unique art style. Even though like Steven has the Calarts head, it still has a vibrant art style. It's just a unique way of stylizing. Also, just because it's in Calarts, it don't keep it from expanding on certain elements inside of the show. The same thing goes for Gumball. All the characters, they are very unique and they stand out, and I like how it's realistic and cartoon at the same time. Like, you get a realistic background in Gumball. Some of the characters look realistic. They use different techniques when it comes to animating, and Gumball is just not bad just because it has Calarts. I think it's bad because they're saying that like the way that the main characters are like structured and drawn, I guess, and they all look the same. People are tired of seeing the same way of drawing, but like this isn't a new thing because they did it back in the 80s, they did it in the early 2000s. It's just something that the cartoonists have to follow regarding making cartoons. And with each era it changes. Like with each era the animation style or the cartooning changes, the format changes, so they gotta adapt. They gotta make it where they stylize to a similar format, but it ain't always gotta be the same. It can be different, but it's hard to explain, but they gotta go with the format. And like that is understandable. It does limit them at times, but it's understandable. Colors don't keep the cartoon from being unique or looking different. Even though some of the characters are drawn the same, it don't keep them from limiting their artistic ability when it comes to making cartoons. But it is a problem. I get what people are saying about Calarts. This is an old topic, so I might be late on this, and I hope you guys understand. But this topic is a bit complicated. Some older cartoonists did say that they had to follow a similar format too, that it been happening since back then, and you can tell that it been happening back then because if you go back and watch older 2000 cartoons, the way they are drawn is similar. It's like a different art style, but it's like the same format regarding stylization. It is like I gave you an example with Kim Possible and American Dragon and Danny Phantom. They don't look the same, but the way that their bodies are drawn and their hands and the little details, there is similarity. There's similarity. Now, I don't have any more examples. I really don't. But you notice that adult animations share the same format too. Like shows that look like Family Guy, they share the same format. They all look the same. Yet like some people like it because there you can distinguish it from how the characters look and what the show is about, and like from the episodes and the formula, you can still tell them apart. People still like these shows even though they look alike, you know. Filmation, the people who made He-Man and She-Ra, they cartoons look the same, but it was really well done. The characters looked nice, the art was very good, everything was just put together. So I guess like nobody really had a problem with it, long as it looks good and it's just enjoyable, and just like people really liked it, long as it is quality and it's just put together well. Nobody really cares, and that's fine. It's okay to have shows that look alike, long as you can distinguish them and long as the show is good, you know. I'm not saying that shows should copycat off of art styles, which some shows do that sometimes, and it can be distracting, or it can be like them copying. But when it comes to Calarts and art styles, yes, some shows do look the same, but it doesn't limit them from expanding and making their show more unique and expanding their artistic ability when it comes to making great character designs and the backgrounds and making the show just enjoyable for you to watch. Not all of these shows still follow Calarts format. I don't know if they still follow the Calarts format or not. I don't know, but you can hardly tell now. You can tell when it's like cartoons aimed at kids, like young kids. That's when you can tell. But when it's for like an older audience, that's when they up the quality in the cartoons. They don't always have that similar art style. Regarding Calarts, they don't have that similar format, because like shows like a Unicorn or just Eternal, that show goes out of balance when it comes to art styles. It looks very vibrant, it looks very unique, it doesn't look like Calarts. It doesn't at all. Cartoon Network's newest show, Invincible Fight Girl, I think that's what it's called, that looks different. It doesn't look like it has a Calarts art style. They probably is following the format, but it doesn't keep them from expanding outside of that when it comes to cartooning. So not a lot of cartoons like have to play it basic all the time. They can go around it, you know, work with it, and then they can just expand around it. So this can be ignored. Yeah, it is a problem when our main characters have the similar way that it's drawn, but it's not always bad, because the artists can find a way to make their stuff look different from everything else. Calarts is a complicated topic to like discuss regarding animation, and you can tell that I'm having a hard time. But yeah, a lot of people have problems with this because they claimed it like a bunch of modern cartoons had the same way of drawing, which I completely understand. But they're just following a format that like cartooning comes with, like goes with in the modern day age when it comes to animation. You know, they're following a format just like they did for decades, you know. That's basically what Calarts is. Well, let me know what you guys think about this whole topic about Calarts and art styles. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in the next video.